So we have a pretty interesting one for you guys today. We're going to try to complete the Dark Aether solo without killing a single zombie. Now when I was coming up with the idea for this video, I was thinking this might be one of the harder things to do in this game, but I think I might have just found one of the best strats for you guys. So with that, welcome on back to the channel everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody stopping on by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, please do consider dropping the video a like and subscribing to the channel, man. We just hit 10,000 subscribers and we're already on the road to 11. Now in starting off this match, I did want to come in here with some decent stuff, but that's mainly just to be helping me gather up like my perks and things like that to be prepared to go in here. But no, once I go in the Dark Aether, I will not use the Aether blade or my knife at all. And I brought in the dog bone as strictly for a backup. I was considering maybe carrying in some self revives, but I got kind of skittish and I was like, maybe I should save up that spot for the extra decoys and stuff. But yeah, the dog bone was pretty much just in case things didn't go right. So there was just a little bit of setup to this. I did go around and complete some contracts and kill some zombies and whatnot, just so I could get the rest of my perks. And if you're going to be attempting this, you're definitely going to need a large rucksack, so you got all that space for all these extra decoys. Which brings me to my next thing. Once you got all of your perks and everything, you're going to need to go duplicate as many decoys as you possibly can at one of the ammo refill stations. And doing this is going to be really easy. So if you have 2 decoys on you, just go ahead and drop one on the ground and stow it in your rucksack, and then refill those at the ammo refill station, and then just rinse and repeat. Continuously drop one and then refill it at the ammo station and stow the one on the ground. So I finally got all my perks and everything, and well, at least the ones I figured that were going to be necessary for doing this, and made my way down to the Dark Aether portal. Man, I've never seen so many decoys in my backpack, but I think we're going to need these things for that holdout mission. So we're going to be bringing in a total of 16 decoys, and I think we're going to be using at least 3 or 4 of them for the Aether extractors, and the rest of them are going to be used on the holdout. I hope that like 11 of those is going to be enough. I'm pretty sure that it will be. The decoys were just recently buffed up from 6 seconds to 8 seconds, so I think with 8 seconds on those things, we should have enough time. So starting off right away, you're going to notice I put my blade away and I'm just running with my fists out. I'm not going to kill a single zombie this entire time. Not going to use the Aether blade. We're just going to be dependent on our decoys, our stamina up, and just our sheer speed and movement and map knowledge. That's going to be another part of this whole thing, is just really kind of knowing the Dark Aether. And if you're familiar with this map from maybe Almaza, or you played a lot of Warzone, that's going to help you out doing this too. Speaking of map knowledge, I knew that there was an ammo refill crate in here, so I decided to throw one of my decoys because I knew I could just refill it right away from this ammo stash right here, then just easily make my way on top of the roof where the bunny contract is. After activating the contract, I'm going to save my decoys and not throw any because we're really going to need those for that holdout mission. I'm just going to run straight up here to the zip line. Yeah, and there was a lot of zombies up here. Go ahead and toss that first decoy. Getting this first Aether extractor done. Now, the funny thing is, when I actually came up with the idea for this video, I actually did this once already, but I only did it with this contract. I didn't attempt to do it with the holdout mission or with anything else. I figured that this would make for a pretty good run, and also just show you guys that it is possible to come into the Dark Aether with 0 weapons at all and be able to farm yourself up some of the acquisitions. Now, when coming up to the second Aether extractor, if you come up through the stairway here, there's usually always zombies that are blocking the doorway, so I knew this was going to waste a decoy as well, but we can possibly use this to get that second one done. But unfortunately, we did have to throw another one, so that's one more we're down. But the second Aether extractor was a success, and we're off to the third one. Go ahead and make your way to the top of the fortress here. Usually kind of like to take a second to pause right here and just kind of see what I'm getting myself into. A lot of the times there's not very many zombies that spawn down here because I'm all the way up here, but it seems we got quite a few, so it's gonna be another decoy down. Now I'm actually quite glad it was the disciple on this one and not a mangler, because he doesn't do very much damage to you when he's just trying to suck up your health. You should be able to get this Aether extractor done no problem. Gonna run away for a quick second here, and that first one's a success. Not the greatest pull-in loot, but I guess I'll take it. It's always good to have an Elder Sigil or 2 in the stash. Alright, so now we're gonna make our way over to the bunny that starts the holdout mission. It's gonna be in the bus right on the edge of the beach here where you guys fought that worm if you guys completed Act 4. This was the one that I'm a bit concerned about, man, because those zombies, from my knowledge, they just continuously spawn in. Like, I don't think that there's really a cap. I mean, there probably is, but I haven't seemed to reach it so far yet. I'm thinking this could get pretty crazy. Make our way up here to this thing. See, yeah, man, I think a big part of doing any of this is just like map knowledge and movement. Those are both 2 major things that's gonna help you guys in zombies. When I'm talking about movement, it's definitely different from like Warzone or from multiplayer or anything like that. I'm more meaning of like when and where to parkour, how to train zombies, just not getting yourself caught up as often. There's a lot of different things that you'll start learning the more and more that you guys play. All right, we're gonna wait for our zombies to roll in here just a little bit and toss out our first first decoy. So I kind of figured out a method to the madness. So the decoys last for 8 seconds. So after you throw the first one, what you're going to want to do is count up to 7 and then toss out that second one. When I first started doing it, I think I was counting up to 8, but I noticed that there was more zombies that were getting kind of close to me, and I was like, I'd rather keep you guys far away, because the longer and longer that I was in this contract, the zombies were just building up and getting more and more. So yeah, we were just about at 50% here, and I was starting to get a little bit overrun by zombies. You guys can see here, they actually whacked me a couple times. I was like, whoa, maybe I should throw those decoys out a little sooner. Still trying to make as much use of those balconies as I can, just so I can look down and see if there's a safe spot for me to jump down. And also, when you're tossing out the decoys, I wanted to make sure I was aiming out the door, because there's a lot of these things, and I wanted to try to keep as many of these zombies out of the room as I could. When this huge horde rushed back at me from this door, man, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, there was starting to get to a point, like at the end of this contract, I was like, man, I don't know, I really hope I don't go down doing this. Honestly, I think if I would have went down during this contract, I probably would have just popped my dog bone and maybe not even made the video, to be honest. But with that, we finally got this contract done, and what do you know, there was so many zombies in here that when the contract was over, only about half of them despawned. I still had a shitload of them in this room with me. But what is with this loot, man? This run was not good for me at all on the loot side anyway. But let's go see if we can get ourselves a free wonder weapon. Now remember, I can't use my knife or my ether blade or anything to kill these zombies, so I'm only relying on my decoys still, and I only have a couple of them left, so it's gonna be just a lot of me running around trying to get to these keys and finally getting to that wonder weapons case. So yeah, we had to ditch underneath the castle because I didn't really have any other option at the moment, and I kind of got lost under here for a second. I don't really do very much stuff down here. I completed like that little Easter egg that's in here, and that's pretty much it. I exfil out of here sometimes, but usually I exfil up top because it's just easier to get to, and plus you can kind of take a second to check out your loot and stuff once you're done with your run. But I finally found my way out of here, and speaking of getting lost, if you guys need to know where anything is in the dark ether, or if you're still struggling to find anything, I'm going to throw up a map on the screen right here. Kind of shows you where everything is going to be at. And these maps that I use are fully interactive over on their website, so big shout out to MWZHUB.gg for supplying us with all of these maps. Their link will be down in the description if you guys want to go check them out. They do awesome maps for Modern Warfare Zombies and Warzone if you guys want to know where any of the Easter egg parts are. Maybe if you're looking for any of the hidden caches or want to know where any of the boss fights are, this is definitely a good place to find out all of that information. But we finally found our way to the top of the fortress again here, and we're going to easily glide down over to this house. That's where the first wonder weapon key is. Now this one always confuses me. I don't know why. I always think this one's going to be in a certain spot, and then it's not, and then I have to run around for a second looking for it. But luckily, when I was actually looking for this door, I looked in the other spot where the wonder weapon spawns, and I saw the case in there, so I knew I had to go grab one of the other keys. This is me almost every single time I get this key, I swear, just running around like an idiot for a minute. I do usually always end up finding it, but it just takes me a second. I was almost at the point where I'm like, damn, I have a lot of zombies still trailing me. I'm like, should I maybe just exfil? But then I decided to take a look in here, and I was like, oh, I see one. Now, to be perfectly honest, I think the Scorcher case of the VR11 is one of the only ones that's going to honestly make this worth it. If it's the ray gun case, I swear to God, I'm deleting this game. No, I'm kidding. But we got to make our way over to the top of the fortress again, and traversal in this dark ether is honestly getting harder and harder. Everywhere I go, I seem to find more and more zombies just kind of sitting on the staircases and stuff like that, and one still trailing me, of course. I ended up coming up into the staircase. I thought I was going to be able to get back up here, but there was just way too many zombies in there, and I'm just I can't kill any of them, but I want to. So unfortunately, we had to come back down and reposition and try this thing again. Basically, we're going to end up going back around and kind of taking the same path that we took to get up here the first time, but there's going to be a lot of traversal on the edges and just kind of jumping over things and parkouring. And I don't know if you guys ever noticed this little glitch in the map up here that's going to be coming up. I don't know if you'll see it, but there's a open space in the ground like right up here when you're coming up the staircase, and I'm like, man, if I fall through this, I'm just, oh, that would make me so angry. So yeah, as you guys can see, we're taking a few smacks here and there, but we're surviving, man. As long as you guys keep moving and you keep that momentum, don't really turn around for too long or try to stay stationary in one spot. I think that's how a lot of people get caught up. Also, just never put your back in a corner. That's a big no-no. But we're gonna be making our way back up in here for our second try, and I'm just really hoping that these stairways are clear, man. and look at that, we actually got a clear pathway all the way up here to the very top. Man, that's awesome to see. That's gonna be just jumping over these vehicles here and hoping that I can actually jump over this bulldozer in time before all these zombies start jumping up here, which eventually they definitely did, and I needed to start doing a little dance on the edge of the fortress here because one was here trying to smack at my ankles. Now I got the majority of them to go away, but this thing just wasn't wanting to come down and give me the time to jump on it, and these zombies were starting to come back up, so we needed to equip another decoy and throw another one. Unfortunately, actually brings us down to our final 2 decoys. Now to just keep jumping around on the edge here until this decoy can actually distract these things. I eventually saw my window, so I said fucking went for it. And there was a mangler down there trying to shoot his hand cannon at me, which was probably a good thing because he would have blasted me right off the edge. Make our way over here and grab the first key. Then we're gonna hop across the ambulance and the second truck so we can get to that second key. Look at that, ended up with all these keys and we're only gonna use one of them. Now since I knew that the wonder weapon was down here in this cell, I knew I could just hop right over the edge and drop straight down, going through this doorway right here, and the wonder weapon's gonna be right here in the little cell. And unfortunately, man, I swear the Modern Warfare gods were just not with us on this one, because we ended up with a damn ray gun case. Man, I'm honestly sick of these things. They need to buff this ray gun, man. For such an iconic weapon, I don't know why it's so duty. But since we are already in the museum and the exfil is just directly underneath of this thing, we're gonna go down there and hit that thing now that we've got both these contracts completed and the wonder weapon extracted. I did contemplate trying the escort mission, but I do believe that one alone would probably take your entire large rucksack full of decoys if it was even possible, and honestly I don't think it would be. Possibly if you paired it with the VR11, but then again you're still just using it to repair the HCV, but you're still going to be taking the chance on that thing killing other zombies as well. So that's going to be about it, guys. That's going to wrap up the video. We completed the Dark Aether without killing one single zombie. Honestly, I think this was a bit easier than I thought it was going to be. But let me know down in the comments section what you guys think, and if you guys might try this. I think it might be an easy way for you guys to rack up some of those rare acquisitions. I greatly appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing me on the channel here lately. It's just blowing my mind. You guys are honestly already changing my life, especially, hey man, the ones that actually made it this far into the video, man, you guys rock. But yeah, so be sure to like the video and subscribe if anybody is new, and I will catch you in the next one.